onto the floor, spilling its contents over the polished tile. He burst into the back bedroom, wishing a damn light worked somewhere. Every attempt he made to ignite one was futile. When he pushed the door open to Reese's bedroom, he froze. His heart tightened in his chest, his resolve nearly breaking. His sister looked like a statue that had fallen over, collapsed elegantly on the hearth in front of her fireplace. The coals were still red, but slowly dying. Ian rushed to her, pressing his hands to her neck, but he was unsurprised to find no pulse. She drunk half the bottle. There was no recovering from that much poison. There was no magic he could do to save his sister. She was gone forever. Behind him, the door creaked. Ian stiffened. He wasn't alone. He'd felt it all night, but now only realized the sinister implications. Ian had defeated leagues of enemies. He had single-handedly brought down a sea monster the size of a battlecruiser. He was the strongest warrior the House of Seven had raised in centuries. However, if someone had gotten this far, then he knew his options were limited. Gently lowering Reese's head back down, Ian rose to face the open door. It was hard to make out the figure in the doorway, but the familiar shape of the man's eyes and rattling of his breath gave him away. "This was you? How did you find us?" he asked, his doubts falling away to allow the picture he'd been trying to construct for quite some time to form. "Ian, you can't hide anything from me. I know you've gotten too close. You've forgotten your place," the man said, his voice a raspy whisper that seemed to travel great distances to reach his ears. Ian's fingers twitched by his side, but without making more than the slightest movement. He knew something was wrong with his magic. Somehow, it had been disabled. Only one organization was powerful enough to disrupt a magician's magic like this. Ian had no time to deal with the disappointment. He'd been right to follow the leads, but it had also been dangerous, and he and Reese had known. For her, it had been deadly. Ian sprang forward, picking up the side table next to the hearth and throwing it in the direction of the other magician. The table crashed against the doorframe where the man had been. He had disappeared and reappeared a few feet away. From that distance, Ian could see his face more clearly. The ancient wrinkles and the eyes he'd always mistaken as kind. "You can't get away with this," Ian said, scanning the room for options. Without magic, he was normal, and his options were few. He hadn't believed this day would come. Ironically, it had, and against the one man he never thought would be his adversary. "We already have poor Ian," the man said. "You should have left things alone." Ian felt behind him for the fireplace poker. But when he had it in his hands, the would-be weapon flew from his fingers, landing on the far side of the room. The man shook his head. "You know I think of you as a son." Ian grimaced, pain in his heart making it hard to breathe. He pointed at his dead sister. "And was she like your daughter?" The magician's face remained indifferent. "I didn't like killing her, nor will I like doing the same to you, but I promise, just like with your sister, I'll make it as painless as I can." The magician raised his withered hand, and instantly Ian felt the constriction in his throat. His feet rose off the ground, and he kicked, trying to fight, but sadly knowing it was useless. All his life, he'd felt the magic flowing in his blood, and in the moments before his death, he felt its absence. What had ended his sister and would soon be his own demise